That fried egg actually cost $500. The man curiously took a bite, only to realize it was made from orange juice, coconut milk, and red wine. Then the waiter brought over a flower pot. The man didn't understand what it meant. At that moment, the manager poured water into the pot, saying, "This is a live salad. You've never seen this before, right?" John picked up the flower pot and headed to the kitchen. "I came here to eat, not to watch you do magic tricks." Paul refused to back down, pulling out an expensive A5 Wagyu beef. "Do you even know how to cook this?" John glanced at the Wagyu's storage temperature, 57 degrees. He quickly chopped scallions, tossed them into hot oil to fry, then sliced the Wagyu and combined them perfectly, creating a simple yet delicious beef with scallions. Meanwhile, Paul used a blowtorch to precisely sear the Wagyu, then smoked it over applewood for half an hour, making the meat tender with a fruity aroma. But John just sniffed it once and walked away. On the stage of the cooking competition, Paul prepared caramelized foie gras. He chilled the foie gras, sliced it thin, melted sugar into clear caramel, placed pineapple slices as the base, and used a torch to glaze the caramel, perfectly coating the foie gras, then topped it with raspberry mousse. John, on the other hand, chose lotus leaf duck. He snapped the duck leg with his bare hands, slid a knife into the duck's belly, and with a few cuts, separated the meat from the bones. He stuffed the cavity with spices and vegetables, wrapped it in century-old lotus leaves, then coated it with thick layers of coarse salt. From backstage, he dragged out a giant iron pot, poured in 80 pounds of fine salt, heated it over a roaring fire, and buried the duck inside to slowly roast. Both dishes amazed the judges, and the scores turned out exactly the same. But the judges awarded the championship to Paul, saying his plating was more refined. John could only leave in frustration. Yet Paul's victory hid a secret. The boss had bribed the judges, just to secure a spot in the World Championship. The boss also planned to have Paul's girlfriend compete in his place. His girlfriend had already betrayed him, and discovered Paul had lost his sense of taste. The only reason he could still cook delicious dishes was thanks to a detailed recipe notebook. Sad and wandering the streets, Paul happened to run into John. They opened up to each other, and decided to team up for the World Cooking Championship. At the competition, top chefs from around the world showed off their skills. Some sliced squid with lightning speed, others perfected sushi with precision. But John and Paul quietly ground soybeans, using a traditional stone mill to make silky soy milk. They blended tradition with innovation, infusing fermented bean paste into semi-set tofu, and turning honey into bursting spheres that exploded with sweetness in every bite. This simple tofu dish now had layers of complex flavor. Against the dazzling dishes of world-class chefs, their tofu looked plain at first glance. But the moment the judges tasted it, this perfect fusion of tradition and innovation earned them the championship without dispute. This time, the title truly belonged to the best. John and Paul became close friends. Together, they opened a restaurant, sharing the perfect harmony of Eastern and Western cuisine through their food.